absentee in-person voting is available right now at your office. Is that correct?
Correct, yep.
If I wanted to do that, what would I do?
Sure, it's quite simple. You have two choices right now. You can come into your municipal clerk office. If you live in a township, let's say, you can call your clerk. They might have specific hours. Sometimes they work out of their house. Sometimes they actually work in the town hall. But for those that reside in the city, just come down to the city clerk's office. You can request an absentee. You'll actually have to fill out a little application, and that's a little different, and I'll touch base on that in a second here. Just fill out an application for an absentee ballot. Show us your ID, and you can get your ballot right then and vote. You'll stick it inside an envelope. That envelope will then be secured in my office until Election Day. It'll then be transported to your polling place and then counted on Election Day. Your second choice is that you can call your municipal clerk and actually either call or email or send a letter requesting an absentee ballot be mailed to you. Again, in those situations, if you're not indefinitely confined, again, you still need to provide some proof of identity, but then the ballot would be mailed to you. And as long as, for this election only, they've changed the rules for November, but for August, if the ballot, as long as it's received by Election Day, I'm sorry, as long as it's postmarked by Election Day, and we receive it within that week, it will be counted at the canvass.
Okay. So we call it absentee voting. What are the conditions? What do I need to qualify for to vote absentee? Do I have to be out of town during Election Day? Do I have to be incapacitated in some way?
You bet. It used to be that way. You'd actually have to have a specific reason for not being able to go and vote on Election Day. Wisconsin changed that rule. So, I mean, it could be as simple as, you know what, I don't want to stand in line. I don't know what my schedule is going to be next week, and so I'm going to go in and try and vote early, plain and simple. The rules are a little different between absentee voting versus early voting. People sometimes get that confused, especially people that come from other states. In other states, the true early voting is you go in, you state your name out loud, they actually find the poll book that you're in, they give you a voter number, you mark your ballot, and you actually stick it into a voting machine. Here in Wisconsin, with our absentee voting, you've got to come in, you have to fill out the application, so it's going to take a little longer. You'll then get your ballot. It's then, like I said before, it's sealed in an envelope and then kept secured in the clerk's office until Election Day when it's deposited at the polling places.
And it would go to your normal polling place. So
correct.
I vote in the 4th District. If I came in and did early or absentee voting in your office today, it would be sealed and then turned over to the 4th District polling place under security to be counted at the end of the voting day in August, right? Okay. So basically, you don't need a reason to vote early or absentee, and they can do that from your office. Now, if they wanted to request an absentee ballot be mailed to them, what's your phone number or email address that they could contact?
Sure. The clerk's office, the main line is 715-346-1572. They can also try 715-346-1569. Okay. So there's 2 numbers. Or they can just email me, and my email is pretty simple. It's just JMOE, the @ StevensPoint, one word, .com.
Okay, great. And they could probably find you too if they go to stevenspoint.com, go to the departments, either voting or clerk. I think the actual website for voting information is stevenspoint.com/voting. We also have it available on the mobile app.